Another Better Call Saul related video as we witness the series finale of Better Call Saul on Monday night with Saul gone, an episode that I gave an 8.8 out of 10. Pretty awesome episode. I actually want to change that score to a 10 out of 10. It's better than I thought at first. It's really good. I don't think Better Call Saul was as good as Breaking Bad, and I know some of you out there think it's better. I can't say that. Breaking Bad was so awesome. It's just so good from beginning to end. Where Better Call Saul is still the same. It's still good from beginning to end, but I think there was more slow parts that I was kind of annoyed with in Better Call Saul, and I didn't like how the ending happened, like the final episodes where it was in black and white and the Gene stuff. That could have been like stuff that was featured, 10 minutes at the beginning of episodes, but I get why they did that, but it just made me annoyed. But I had promised I'm going to rank the characters on Better Call Saul. Initially, I was going to do like a top 8 characters list, the top 8 featured characters that I saw in Better Call Saul, but I decided to make it 15. Now, some characters might have multiple personalities on here because they were that important to the show. You might choose different characters. I did these 15. I didn't put Francesca, Huel. I didn't put Jeff or Marion on here. This guy's in he's in like the 7th or 8th most episodes. Him and his wife were the ones that Kim was helping out. They initially were with Hamlin, and McGill, and then went to Davis and Maine. I think he was from Texas. He really didn't serve a point to the show, in my opinion, so I didn't include him. Some of you might put him in here. I didn't. Ernesto, the one that was helping Chuck out after Jimmy stopped bringing over stuff for him, but I didn't include any of those, but I chose 15 here. So these are my 15 in my order, my preference from least favorite to favorite. You're going to have a different list than I am, or that I have. I get it. Make sure you leave your list of these 15, or just do your top 10 out of this list if you want to do that. However you want to break it down. Make sure you smash the like button if you're a fan of Better Call Saul, Breaking Bad, or El Camino, Breaking Bad movie. Share the video with whoever you want. Put it on any of your social media platforms. Sound off in the comments section. Like I said, leave your list in there. Tell me who you like on Better Call Saul. And if you want to tell me what you liked on Breaking Bad, that's fine too. And don't forget to hit that sub button and subscribe to the channel. So, starting my list off with my least favorite main character that was in Better Call Saul. And actually, he is my least favorite character on Better Call Saul, no matter what. And that would be Hector Salamanca. Now, I had some pity for him in Breaking Bad. We saw one bad thing that he did, and that was it, killing Gus's partner, possibly lover, and stuff that he did with the twins, how much of an asshole he was. So that made him kind of a hated character, but in Better Call Saul, we get a lot more of how he is and how demented Hector Salamanca is, and he deserves, in my opinion, to be in that chair. Thank you, Ignacio Nacho Varga, for putting him in that position. So Hector Salamanca, hated character, don't like him, can't stand the bell noise, but I think it was hilarious when Don Helado, in the last episode that he was in, I don't remember the title, it was like episode 12 or something like that, where he's mocking Hector with the ding, ding, ding. Pretty funny stuff. But as I said, Hector Salamanca is my least favorite character, and he comes in at number 15. Okay, you're about to cancel me. My 14th character on Better Call Saul. Again, I'm kind of starting with the people I didn't like, and then I'll work my way up to the people I did like. Saul Goodman. Yes, Saul Goodman, I said. I never have really liked Saul Goodman. I always thought he was all in it for himself. All he cared about was the money. And in Breaking Bad, he's tolerable because he's funnier at times. But in Better Call Saul, he's an asshole, especially the scene when Kim goes to his office to sign the paperwork and he just nonchalantly is like, yeah, get the fuck out of here. I don't care about you anymore. Ah, wow. I mean, he's yeah. And I like when the flashback scene that we never actually saw that we were given with Walt and Saul down in Ed's basement, where Walt's like, you've always been like this. You've been a con artist your whole life. So unfortunately, I have to put Saul Goodman as my 14th favorite character and one of my least favorite characters on Better Call Saul. And I'll let you know when I start talking about characters that I actually liked. My number 13, again, I might get canceled here, Gene Takovic. I didn't really like Gene either. He really didn't do much, and he was, I don't know. When you get a new identity by Ed, the guy, the vacuum cleaner guy, you're supposed to like not keep remnants of yourself. I understand Walt did it, but I think Gene had it easy, and he just couldn't let Saul die. And then he started scheming. He started doing the slip-in Gene at this point. And I don't know, I just didn't like Gene. I like him more than Saul, but not much more. Again, I said I had people that had multiple characters. This is why I included both of those. I had to put Gene Takovic as my number 13, and he got caught so easy. I don't know, I thought he should have been a little bit more of a manhunt than that. Granted, he was gone for 2 years, but yeah, I don't know. But anyway, my number 12, another character that I didn't like that was also in Breaking Bad. He didn't get a lot of time on Better Call Saul, but he got a little bit of time, and that would be Victor. I don't remember Victor's last name, and I didn't feel like looking it up. He was, of course, Gus's henchman, and then in Breaking Bad, he's the one that Gus kills with the box cutter in Season 4, Episode 1, titled Box Cutter. Victor, he's not very likable as a character. I wish we would have got more of him. I wish we'd have saw a little bit more personality and like how like showed him as like a heart individual, like somebody that has a heart, but he's just cold. It seems like he's always cold and like angry about stuff. So I put him on the list. Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should have put a character like the Kettlemans on here, or actually, one person I want to make as an mention as an honorable mention. I don't even remember the character's name, but the guy that had the baseball cards, he was fucking hilarious. So anyway, Victor is my number 12. Now, starting here are characters that I like. Obviously, I like the least with number 11, and that would be Clifford Maine. He was the senior partner at Davis and Maine. He was a good person. He was kind of just there. He didn't really have a lot to do in episodes, but he made the most of what he had. The part where Jimmy, when he's working at Davis and Maine and has to like essentially get himself fired, and Cliff just can't believe how crazy he's acting, and like yeah, you can go now. You're done. I don't know. I liked him. He was okay. I mean, he's my least favorite good character, but I'll put Cliff Maine at my number 11. Number 10, another character that was on Breaking Bad, and that would be Tyrus. Tyrus was actually a good character. We got a little bit more out of him. Not enough. I wish we would have got... I mean, we don't see Tyrus right away in Better Call Saul. Or, I'm sorry, we don't see Tyrus right away in Breaking Bad. He shows up in Season 4 after Gus kills Victor. So I wish they would have showed something in Better Call Saul where he's taken out or in jail or something like that. So it's kind of a loose end, unless I missed something and didn't catch it. But we don't see him until middle of Season 4, if not Episode 2 or later. And I just like Tyrus as a character, especially with the scene where not the scene, the episodes where the guys are building things and all that in the lab, and he has to, they have their mobile homes and stuff like that. I don't know, he's just supervising, and I like Tyrus as like Gus's number 2, but I think he might have been Gus's number 3, depending on what order Mike, Victor, and Tyrus are in. So Tyrus is my number 10. My number 9 is a character that's actually been in quite a bit of episodes in Better Call Saul. I don't know if he's credited or not in all the episodes, but I'm going to put Bill Oakley on here. I liked Bill Oakley. He wasn't meant to be like this badass character, but I don't know, he just was funny. And then the whole last episode in Saul Gone with him saying, wait a minute, let's rule all this stuff out. Let's throw all this stuff out. I demand him to shut up. I don't want to go any further. Can I get dismissed from this case? And I don't know. I liked Oakley. He's funny, and he ended up being like the big shot at the end to a degree, and that's why I put him on the list. I know some of you might not have included him, and you're probably like, this list sucks so far. It gets better, trust me. My number 8, and I thought about putting this character lower on the list, but there were times that this character meant a lot to the story, and that would be Charles Chuck McGill, Jimmy's brother. I mean, this was a very interesting storyline. With this guy being essentially afraid of anything that's electronic and like living in a house with no lights, and he played a really good character that was really cuckoo with him getting freaked out by exit signs and batteries, and wearing the blanket. What's it called? I don't remember the term that they use, but the blanket that, you know what I mean. I like Chuck. He was an asshole at times. He never really gave Jimmy any credit for anything. He just thought he was always slipping Jimmy, which I guess kind of was the case, but there were times that Jimmy did a lot of good. But Chuck would get so freaked out and, so bent on it. Some of the best episodes in Better Call Saul, in my opinion, were when, the documents were all fudged and he went to the FedEx store, and then he started freaking out, and then he started having an episode there where he collapsed, and it was just great acting by that actor. The only other thing I remember him in, like, off the top of my head, is Short Circuit 2, which I didn't really like that movie, but he did a good job on Better Call Saul, and that's why I decided to put him as my number 8. My number 7 is a guy that kind of got shafted, and that would be Howard Hamlin. Howard was actually a really good character, and surprisingly, actually a nice guy. We thought he was kind of vindictive, but he really wasn't. He was the one that actually wanted Jimmy to join Hamlin, and McGill, but Chuck's like, no, slipping Jimmy. I can't have him be successful like me. Not exactly the words that he would say, but he didn't want him to be in, that field. But Howard was actually a good character, and it's unfortunate they had to kill him off the way they did, which you thought would probably happen, but, are they really going to kill a lawyer that really isn't in any issues like that? Like, he was never in a situation where he would be killed, but all of a sudden, wrong place, wrong time. Goodbye, Howard. So, Howard, I had to put him on the list, and I actually liked him as a character, and I really liked the actor as well, so that's why he's my number 7. My number 6 is Ignacio Nacho Varga. His episode where he dies is freaking crazy. How he goes off on the Salamancas, and it's awesome. But he was a good character, more of a henchman at the beginning, but started to be a likable character towards, the middle ports of Better Call Saul. And I apologize, I watched season 1 through 6, 1 through 5, in like a very short amount of time, so all the events kind of just gelled together for me. That's why I didn't do my favorite seasons ranked yet. I'm gonna have to rewatch it and then do that. I'm sure season 6 is gonna be my favorite, but I don't know after that. There's episodes that I can remember and events in the episodes that I remember, but I don't remember what season they are. But I did like Nacho. I thought his last episode was great, and stuff before that, and his relationship that he had with Mike Ehrmantraut was really good too. And I like how Mike kind of told his father, all the stuff. And we'll get into that later, hint, hint. But Nacho, what he did to Hector Salamanca and hating the Salamancas, that was awesome. And that's why Nacho Varga is my number 6. My number 5, I think, has probably the best charisma on this show. And that would be Lalo Salamanca. I was kind of hoping that somehow, some way, Lalo would still be alive, and maybe he went into hiding somewhere, but he didn't. Gus took care of him because Gus is a badass. But Lalo was really funny. He was funny, but he could fuck shit up too, and that's a good combination to have. He was just something about him. He made me like him, and then there's stuff that he would do that you wouldn't necessarily like, but you smiled. Like, he kind of reminds me of Negan in The Walking Dead. Like, Negan did some badass shit that you hate, but you still like Negan because it's Negan. And that's kind of how I feel with Lalo. It's unfortunate that he was taken out by Gus. I really hoped he would go into hiding somehow, some way, but I kind of figured he would be killed. It's just a matter of when it would happen. I thought all that stuff would happen at the end of the series, but no. They want to do that right in the middle of season 6. So, Lalo Salamanca is my number 5. My number 4, another character that was on Breaking Bad that I absolutely loved, and he's high on my Breaking Bad ranking as well, and that would be Gustavo Gus Fring. Gus Fring is awesome. You see more depth to his character in Better Call Saul, and he is just amazing. He's so calculated. He's just so he expects everything. It's crazy that Walt actually got to Gus, but Walt tried to put that bomb on the car, and Gus is like, nah, something's up here. I don't like this idea. I'm getting away from here. But Gus is a great character. There's no doubt about it. One of the best TV show villains of all time, but he's kind of like the anti-hero. if you look at season 4 of Breaking Bad, I know I'm talking about Breaking Bad now when I should be talking about Better Call Saul. Towards the end there, you know, the stuff that Gus did versus the stuff that Walt did, you almost want to side with Gus, in my opinion. Walt was pretty fucking evil. Granted, Gus put some kids in bad situations, and Walt would just poison kids and let, you know, young adults die in their sleep after overdosing, and when he had a chance to prevent that from happening. But just the build up for Gus's character and how he handles this situation with Nacho, and then the scene where Gus is at Donnie Lados with Juan Bolsa and Hector Sonamaca and the twins, and you can see Hector just getting really mad and steaming over this, and Gus is just playing it cool, like, I have nothing to lose here, I'm good, I have nothing against you guys, and then he fucking takes them all down in Breaking Bad eventually. So that's why I put Gustavo Gus Fring as my number 4. Alright, here's another surprise on the list. My number 3, the star of the show, ladies and gentlemen, James Jimmy McGill. A lot of people would have him number 1, and he's good. He was a lot more likable as Jimmy, even though he's slipping Jimmy, but he had a conscience. Like, he wouldn't... Like the episode where Chuck goes to the FedEx store and starts freaking out and then falls down. Like, he's standing outside around the corner, and he's like, God, I can't go in there because he's going to know I did it. But he's like, Chuck needs my help, and he runs in there like, what are you doing? Call 911. And then, you know, towards the end there, Better Call Saul, he saves Kim, or does everything to make Kim like him again, because otherwise they weren't really going to have much of a relationship ever again. But he did what he did to see Kim again and have a relationship with Kim. And I'm sure that Kim goes to visit him in Ambrose at least once a week, maybe, I think. You never know. But Jimmy was a really good character, and I like all the schemes that they pulled, especially the one where they had the guy lay down outside, and then he would talk to somebody for a whole night, and then bring him outside, and there would be money or something like that. I don't remember the exact details of stuff, but it was a good scheme. And then that guy just randomly died, his friend, which is sad. The stuff with Chuck, all the stuff with him helping Chuck out, and Chuck just not really appreciating much of it all, at all. Jimmy was great. I wish the show would have been called like Better Call Jimmy or something like that, because I did not like Saul Goodman at all, or Gene Takovic, and yeah, so that's why Jimmy McGill is my and only my number 3. So we got 2 characters left. I'm sure you know who those 2 characters are right now. This actually was very tough. I debated, I hemmed and hawed over this, but my number 2 is going to be Kim Wexler. It didn't happen right away, and I don't remember what point it was, but all of a sudden, I really liked Kim and thought Kim was the star of Better Call Saul. I really did like Kim Wexler a lot. She was awesome, and she got, you know, into the schemes and all that, and she liked, you know, doing the stuff that Jimmy did. She was a really good lawyer, but she wanted to do other stuff as well, and she was adventurous to a degree. Well, at least until the end she was. The end she got lame, you know, with just marrying that one guy, or I don't know if they were married or not, but going to Florida and being with the obvious douchebag that she was with. And I hate the word douchebag, but that's the only thing I can think of. But I really like Kim Wexler. I think she was good. Rhea Seehorn was awesome, especially the scene where she's on the bus at the end and she just breaks down after she told Howard Hamlin's wife, or ex-wife, Sherry, about what happened to Howard. And she just breaks down, and I'm glad that she won an Emmy for that, because her performance was great as Kim Wexler. And I hope somehow, some way, there's a spin-off Kim Wexler show. That way it doesn't have to be Breaking Bad. It doesn't have to be Better Call Saul. It could just be called Wexler, Attorney at Law, or something like that, and then kind of go from there. And then you can bring back Francesca to be her assistant, and her bodyguard can be Huel. And I guess we have the same show over again with a new lead. But I liked Kim, and that's why she's my number 2, and was very close between my number 1. So, last but certainly not least, my favorite character in Better Call Saul, and my second favorite character in Breaking Bad, that would be Mike Ehrmantraut. Mike is so awesome, and it was good to get more of a backstory with Mike in Better Call Saul. all the stuff that he did. And Mike's really fucking smart too, and he's the one that told Saul, like, don't work with this Walter White guy. He's gonna end up in jail or whatever worse. He's just not. I just love Mike. There's so much stuff that Mike does, like him. The scene where they're waiting for the guy to pick them up, and it's this old guy Mike and these two other clowns, and Mike's the one that gets the job because Mike is a fucking badass. And then of course, and I'm going back and forth between random events. I don't have a script in front of me. All I got is the names of the people, and I'm just reading the names. I don't have any reading material at all other than the name. But when he tells Ignacio Varga, Nacho's his dad, about what actually happened to Nacho, like he felt bad about that situation, and he felt bad about the guy. I can't remember the main architect guy for the meth lab, that he had to shoot him and kill him. Mike didn't want to do that, but he did it anyway, but he felt bad about it. So there's a lot of stuff that Mike did that was questionable behavior, and obviously he paid for his things with getting killed by Walter White of all people, when Walt didn't have to kill Mike, but he did anyway. But yeah, I love Mike. Jonathan Banks is such an incredible actor, and I don't know what's next for him. He's getting up there in age, but he's so good. I would like to see him on The Walking Dead as like the resident old guy, because they don't really have a resident old guy right now, if memory serves me correct. So that is my list of my characters of Better Call Saul. I'll repeat it just so you remember what I said. Number 15, Hector Sadamaca. 14, Saul Goodman. 15, Gene Takovic. 15, Hector. 14, Saul. 13, Gene. 12, Victor. 11, Clifford Maine. 10, Tyrus. 9, Bill Oakley. 8, Chuck McGill. 7, Howard Hamlin. 6, Ignacio Nacho Varga. 5, Lalo Sanamaca. 4, Gustavo Gus Fring. 3, James Jimmy McGill. 2, the wonderful and beautiful Kim Wexler. And my number 1, yet again, Mike Ehrmantraut. So there is my list of the characters that I like or dislike. Like I said, leave whatever list that you want to leave in the comments section. I know I kind of did this. There was other characters that most of you would probably have put, but these are the ones that came to my mind first. So that's what I did. Otherwise, I could have ranked 30 or 40 characters, and that would just be too much. Like the video, share the video, and make sure you hit that sub button. You're watching the video anyway. Subscribe to the channel, join the team, and show your support, and let me know what other Better Call Saul or Breaking Bad videos I should do. Eventually, I do plan to do a ranking of the seasons of Better Call Saul. It's going to be a while because I have to rewatch all the episodes again. Maybe not season 6, but I'll probably do that anyway, so it might be like 4 to 5 months. So stick around, show your support, and JDev will return.